So last month I had a 6-day speed run in Seoul, visiting the city. So let's rewind and I'll talk a little bit about the trip and how much fun I had. So we're going to begin this story at 5 a.m. going back home to go see my mom for Mother's Day. And this 5 a.m. trip, I was bringing a carry-on bag for Korea to go buy some things, as one does. I've never brought a check-on bag on an airplane, and apparently you have to be there like 40 minutes early at least to get it on a plane. Lucky me, I got on a plane an hour later, but I was in an entire exit row by myself, and the plane was making those noises, so I thought I may fly out of the thing. But we landed safely. First thing we do in Texas, we go get canes, because where I live now, there's no canes. And then we go to the second Monday, is what we call it in my little small town. It's like a trade day where there's a bunch of random stuff, including animals. And this boy right here, I got as a present for her Mother's Day. He has the face of an old man, and I absolutely adored him. As soon as I saw him, I said, well, we're getting him. Sorry. Another important plot point to this story, my father did not want another dog. And you can tell this is his first reaction as soon as he sees him. So we just drop the dog off and dip, and we go to my sister's wedding dress appointment. I got those cat ears from it. I'm not showing you the actual dress. We play with the dog a little bit more, and then as the night settles down, I'm watching some Wheel of Fortune, and this was like the word of the day or whatever, so I thought this was a premonition for an amazing trip to Seoul. And then I crash on the couch, and this was day 0 of the trip. Now day 1, we wake up at 7 a.m., cuddling the dog as we do, because we're only going to see that dog once or twice this year. And I keep calling him the dog to this day because we could not come up with a name, and honestly, I still don't think he really has a name. He's called like 10 different things now. Anyways, I get dressed, I go for that cute, comfy airport vibe, and now this is a very important plot point to this story as well. This dog right here, his name is Theo. I had to bring this dog to South Korea with me on the airplane. We'll touch base on that later. So I say goodbye to all the other dogs that we have, and then we do some final packing. We get Theo in his crate, and we had to take the truck because it would not fit in the normal car. And that truck is one stop from breaking down. So I was freaking out and panicking the entire ride, thinking the dog was gonna fly out, we were gonna get stuck, I wasn't gonna get to the airport on time. I had to be there 3 hours early to get this dog checked in, and I'm a stressor, okay? So you can see it in my face right here. I was trying to stay calm and not freak out on people, but it wasn't working. So the people at the airport were super helpful. They were really nice and respectful, and were trying to help me the best way to get this dog on the trip. I get him checked in. That took probably 20 to 30 minutes. I had to take him to this like secret spot to get put on the airplane. Essentially, it was like a backstage pass, but for the airport, and I don't recommend ever traveling with a pet like that. But I get myself checked in. I get myself some frozen yogurt. I had to treat myself after that fiasco. I'm in the international side of DFW, and the face I'm making here, I'm genuinely surprised because the bathrooms are so much better than the ones for the domestic flights. So the US is really screwing us over here, and I want to complain a little bit about that. But for Korea Air, that's the airline I got on. That's all the little freebie things that you get on the flight. I was in economy, and it was a pretty comfy flight. The seats were pretty big. The stewardess was really great. They were playing ETA by New Jeans where I was walking on the plane, so I thought that was pretty fitting. They had K-pop music selection, they had good movie selection, they gave me like 3 different meals on the entire trip. So considering it was like 15 hours that I was on that plane and I didn't sleep any of it, I didn't have a miserable time. What I actually did was watch every single movie of the Hunger Games, the prequel, and all 4 of the normal like Hunger Games movies. And considering the news that the new book's coming out and the movie's gonna come out in a year or 2, I'm so stoked. I'm so glad I did it. It was like a premonition again. But as I am still awake as the sun rises, we finally land in Korea, and I'm very happy to get out of this seat. But I was stressing the more we were getting closer to land. This is my first solo international trip, and having to get this dog off the plane and all the papers done and get myself good to go, it did not go well. I misplaced a paper, so the dog kind of got stuck for a bit, and we had to spend a few freaking hours trying to figure that out.
I tried to
but
back
the
it
upside, I guess, is that we saw G Idol at the airport randomly. But once we got that all taken care of, we got our bus ticket, we watched the sunset, I guess myself again, the same day, 2 days, and we traveled back to Cricket's apartment. She's been living in Seoul for about 2 years now, so that's why I was bringing Theo, her dog, to her. And once we got into her apartment, I crashed hard. And then we got to day 2. You can tell how exhausted I am. Look at those bags. They were bagging. I was kind of horrified. And this was my makeover day, so I knew I was gonna look real freaking good after waking up like this. Then we get ready for the day. Here's my fit check. Cricket was grading papers. She's teaching English over there right now. So I'm sprinting to drop those off because the first thing on our agenda today is go to the Monster X pop-up shop store on their anniversary dates. And when I tell you, you thought I was stressing about the whole airport situation, this was somehow even worse, even though it really shouldn't have been. So I made sure that we got up extra early to get there on time so that we'd have time for everything. So we get to the mall at 8 a.m., but there was hardly any information about where the line was. We looked everywhere and we couldn't find anything. So we kind of just got some coffee, which the coffee was really good, and I'm glad we got coffee. But once we did that, we just kind of like chilled and tried to figure out where to go, and no one was really telling us or helping us and giving us any information. So we sat outside for a couple hours. We were using this time to catch up, and I'm really glad that we did because I was stressing out the rest of the day. And thankfully, this French film baby named Taylor, I love her. She totally helped us out. She showed us where we were supposed to go, what we were supposed to do, and we got in and we got to see everything. Our queue in line, though, absolutely sucked because, again, we were there all morning. We just didn't know we had to go get that ticket. While we waited, I enjoyed like the outside parts and how cute it was. We also did a little bit of shopping. But the problem with waiting for 3 hours wasn't like the waiting itself. It was the fact that we had our makeup, our hair, everything important that started at 1:30. And based on how fast the line was going, we were projected to get in at like 1:15, and it takes 10 minutes to get to the hair and makeup place. So I was very much stressing, thinking that we weren't going to be able to get in and that we would have to wait the next day at like 4 a.m. to get a spot in line. But we managed to get in 10 minutes earlier than projected. We got our cute little welcome card. We got our wristbands, we were moving in line, and we had our game plan ready. We knew exactly what we were going in to buy. So I got that Juhan face pillow, and then I zoomed over. I was dodging people left and right, trying to get to where I was needing to go. I was looking at the stuff, just like trying to enjoy it while I could. But again, I was in here for probably about 3 minutes. But I grabbed the mini Juhan doll, I grabbed the mini Kihyun doll, and then I zoom over to the keychains, and I grab the Juhan keychain, and then I also grab the Kihyun keychain, and then I turn to the right and I go check out. So going as fast as we both did, we ended up having enough time to go through the like little room, and it was a cute little mission room as well, where you use your postcard and you collect stamps in each different room, and you have to post a video of it or a photo of it online. You have to write a message to the boys. I think I just like, I'm so glad to be here, blah, blah, blah. Crickets was pretty funny. She's like, we're literally late because of you guys, bro. Ooh, and I forgot to mention too, with the mini dolls, they come with ID cards. And then I also got 2 photo cards for the event. I think the lady was being really nice and she saw what I was buying. So she gave me a Juhan photo card and a Shonu photo card, which I was super stoked about too, because I was also there to see Shonu's play. So it worked out perfect. But back to the main story. So basically, once you get all your stamps done on your little welcome card, then you go take it to the front, and then they see that you did everything, and then you get a little prize for completing all the missions. And then if you're also a member of the, Mambebe thing, then you also get a little magnet. Aside from getting the actual items like in Korea and like the pop-up shop experience, I'd say the coolest part were the little rooms and how decorated they were. I'm just really glad I got to actually experience the event on their anniversary, even though they, aren't here right now. They're serving it up in the military, of course. But it was really cool to make a new friend and to get this experience, because not many people got to actually do this and go. So I'm pretty stoked about it. And I might have stayed a little longer in these rooms than I should have, considering that we were on an extreme time crunch in that moment, but I could not help myself. The rooms were so cute. I had to take a video of each one. It was a hard balancing act, okay? I had to hold everything I bought. I was trying to record everything and do all the stamps and write down things at the same time while trying not to freak out. So I'll go through all the pros. It was super easy to, get in line to get everything. They made it easy for me to buy things with my passport. They had a little passport tax thing ready to go. They're super helpful. They communicated well. When I say that, I mean at the actual event. There was no address or communication about where to go. It was really hard for us, like, foreigners to know exactly what was going on. So that part kind of sucked. But as soon as we got everything we finished, we immediately hopped it up the elevator and got into a cab and drove over to Eco Jaren. What I think this place is most known for is like their 16 something step treatment for your scalp. We didn't do that. We instead did a color analysis for our hair, our makeup, our clothes, and we also did a makeover based on those suggestions. And so that means the first step on this glow up is our color analysis. So I was told Winter Bright are my absolute worst colors. I should avoid navy and the dark high contrast. And my best colors are Spring Bright and Summer Brights. Then we went over what makeup would look good and bad for my complexion, and we tried a few lip glosses on to see what would look good and bad. Then we went over like eyeshadows, what is too dark for me, what's too bright, what would be perfect. And then I got this little pamphlet to help tell me what my skin color is and how to match things based on that and my colors. And then we got started on the fun stuff. So I got this plum green tea, which was to die for. Then I had them both working on my hair. We started dyeing it. We ended up going with a copper color, and I absolutely loved it. It was between red, pink, and orange, and beige. I wanted to go pink so bad, but my work would not let me do that. So I went for the next best thing, and I absolutely love it. This is out of my comfort zone. I've never really done like an orange. So it's really great knowledge to know that warm colors suit really well for me in the future whenever I'm back in the States. Then we got our makeup done. We went with a princess kind of theme because of our next stop that we're about to hit. Cricket was having a really fun time talking to the lady who's doing her makeup too. Cricket's like fluent in Korean, so they're having fun combos. I was just enjoying like the halfway understanding that I could. And once we were finished, we went to this photo booth that they have inside the salon, and we took pictures and felt super pretty. I seriously couldn't get over the glow up from that morning and how bad I looked to now. Even the girl that did me at the very beginning, when I walked out at the end, she's like, oh my god, you look so pretty. Overall for Eco Jaren, I give it a 10 out of 10. I really can't think of any negatives. I really enjoyed that experience. So after that, we got to the cab and we went to our next place, which was Lafayette. This is a princess photo shoot place, and it was so freaking cool. We both had our first solo shoots. I went for this like spring day, purple floopy. I was seriously in shock. I felt like I looked like a completely different person compared to that morning. Cricket's favorite color, silver, and the dress that she picked, and literally she looked so Victorian. She looked like she fit in that era. You look so good. So you get about 10 minutes in their like selfie room where you can take pictures of yourself. These dresses were for our group photo. We decided to go with pink last second because we both learned in our color analysis that pink suit us both the best. And when you change into that one, you also get 10 minutes in the selfie room as well. Now, let me tell you about the experience here because I was rolling on the floor. We were talking to the girl doing our photos for like an hour and a half, and they were just like bantering so hard. Like there was dinosaur music going on. Cricket couldn't see what she was asking for a lot of the time. And when we were editing the photos, I was like, oh god, what happened to me? Overall, 9 out of 10. The only complaint I'd have is you can't really book as a foreigner. It's kind of hard without a Korean ID. Then after that, we ordered food at our apartment and went to bed. That was our first meal of the day too. Day 2 fit, you just saw that. So we're walking down the street. We're gonna go get me a Team Money card because apparently doing taxis is kind of expensive. Okay. This is also pretty ironic because I think we only took the subway like twice, so I don't really think we needed it, to be honest. But once we go to the ATM, we walk by this little cafe, and it was cute. The eggs were sweet, which is so weird to me because like eggs are salty and my brain not sweet, so it's just a thing to adjust to. But once we were done with breakfast and doing that Team Money card, we took the subway and we went to the mall. And this mall was insane. There was like 8 floors, 2 different parts of it. There's like the bougie side and the normal side. So we go to the normal side, go to Gypsy Monster. Guess how much these are? If you say anything that isn't $350, you're wrong. Most of that stuff was kind of overpriced in there. I'm not gonna lie. They were cute, but I didn't get anything. So I ended up getting a pearl necklace because in my color analysis again, she said I look good in pearls or like rose gold. So I went with the pearls and I thought it really made the outfit super cute. Then we got lunch. We're really trying to go for 3 meals a day today instead of like the monstrosity of yesterday when we only ate once. We met up with Cricket's friends and they wanted to go get American food. Cricket took one for the team and went with me to go get Korean food. Apparently it's kind of rare to get American food there, so that's what they usually try to get when they go out. but not me, because I wasn't about to eat that shit. Then I got that really cute tweed jacket. We go to the restroom, and again, this restroom is so freaking nice. I don't understand why American toilets are so bad. This is the coolest restroom I think I've been in. And once we get done with the mall, we go to this little bar that they like to go to called One Way. It had this really low-key vibe to it. There weren't that many people in there, but it was so like cool. We just talked a lot about, you know, us, what we do, the groups that we like, just getting to know each other. And be proud. Here's meal number 3. We hit all the check marks for the day. Then once we finished food, we crashed and we hit day 3. Now, day 3 is probably one of my favorite days on this trip. We get ready. I just go for a casual look. We get ready to take a taxi because, again, we barely use the subway, if I'm being real. And we go to Moa Hanbok. Now, I searched and searched through all these places, and I feel like this was the prettiest, like, hanboks that you're gonna find. They have a lot of choices from the traditional range to the more modern and trendy styles. They're really thorough in explaining how to put the hanboks on whenever you're changing by yourself. And they help you pick out the best ones for you if you're kind of stuck between a couple options. Now, I went with more modern look. I went with pink, obviously, and I went with a beige coat. We also did our hair. They add the hair in with your hanbok, but you can also do makeup as well. And if you're feeling extra bougie, you can also do a photo shoot with them too, where they give you a photographer and they go to the palace with you to take pictures. We decided against the makeup and the photos, and we went on our walk. It was about a 10-minute walk to the palace. It was the opening day for their new address, so I thought that was pretty cool. They were one of the first customers for them. And on top of this, it was seriously the best day to do this on this trip. It was in the 60s, so we weren't too hot. To keep in mind, there's about 8 layers of clothing on right now for me. Now, my shoulders are broader than most girls, so I could barely lift my arms up in this thing, and my tits were pressed in, so they're kind of hurting, but it was worth it. Look at this shot. Look at how pretty this dress moves in the like airtime and spin that it creates. Like, you feel so pretty whenever you just start swirling around. While we were walking, a bunch of locals were also saying how cute we looked, so it was nice to like get some compliments too. And we arrived at the perfect time. Accidentally, we got there whenever the guards changed for the day, or when they got there for the day, I'm not really sure. And it was like a once in a lifetime thing for me, because I most likely won't go back and do this. So it's just really cool to experience that moment. Then after that, we go inside, we get our tickets, even though we get it for free, you know, but it was still a cute souvenir. And we get to see all the architecture, and it was so pretty. There were multiple beautiful palaces that you could walk and see. There was one specifically that you could look into and see like the throne room and all the just detailing in the ceiling. That is just so impressive. This place is really huge, so there's a lot to explore and a lot of history that you can learn about. This is one of my favorite shots from the entire trip. Just this wall in alleyway just gives you such a surreal experience. Kind of feels like you're traveling back in time a little bit. There's just so much to see and so much to learn about this palace, so I definitely recommend going. There's also, my favorite part, the waterways. You could get lost here looking at this view, reading a book for hours. Just excellent. And they also had a really cool library as well that you could walk through and actually read there yourself if you wanted to read. And the last thing we did was go get some souvenirs and lunch. And as we were walking back, we passed this really cute keychain shop, and oh god, I overspent. Capitalism got me here, ladies and gentlemen. There were so many cute bows and keychains and rings and headbands and bracelets and necklaces and earrings. The list goes on. And you could also make your own like water bottle holders, bags, keychains, whatnot. Now, as somebody who used to do this for a living, I could tell you it was overrated, probably shouldn't have done this, but if you want a souvenir that you made yourself, then this is the way to do it. Last thing we did in our hanboks is do a photo booth and take pictures of them. Photo booth places are like cafes and coffee shops. They are seriously everywhere in Seoul. So overall, I'm gonna give Moa Hanbok a 10 out of 10. Loved it, no complaints there. After that, we went and got dinner with one of Cricket's friends again, and this was our only Korean barbecue experience there. They absolutely love that place because the meat's seasoned, and I really liked it. It was pretty good, and it was so cheap. Then the last thing we did was tangaloo, and I was wanting that so bad. I know it's Chinese and like, but you know, just eating it on the streets of Korea, good experience. I needed it because I felt like I was about to pass out that day. Then we got back, took one more video of my hair, and passed out. So now we're at day 4 fit, my new shirt, jacket thing that I got, and it just felt so cute. Here's my skin. I want to show you this now. I know the light kind of sucks, but today is a solo day where I'm going to go get skin analysis and a facial. Now, I was without my tour guide and translator for that day, so I felt kind of lonely and lost. And honestly, I couldn't cope very well. The first meal that I had for that day was a convenience store ice cream bar. I was going to go in this photo booth place to go take pictures, but I realized that this is some place that they actually take photos for you with a person, so I jetted very quickly. Then I arrived to my spa. It was Acro Spa. I got there about 20 minutes early and checked myself in because I was just gonna wait. And it just felt so weird. Like the receptionist told the ladies downstairs and I felt like they responded kind of rudely. This is all the video that I could get because I was being rushed through this place. Like they just went through everything super quickly. They took me to the machine, then just rushed through the explanation about my skin and then just rushed me into the massage area. And this massage was something else. This was for a facial and they asked if I wanted my stomach rubbed and I was like, yeah, sure, I guess, like if I paid for it. Turns out I had to be fully naked for this and there was only a thin, clear, see-through piece of cloth that covered my upper chest region. So it might be the American culture in me. It was just kind of hard for me, but the lady was checking on me to make sure I was okay throughout the entire thing. I'm probably gonna rate this place a 6 out of 10. I got some good info that I could piece together from the consultation, and the facial was great. What the fuck? But Cricket also had a really experience here before too, and it just kind of felt not very personable. It just kind of felt like they're just pushing me through. Oh my god, this is also my first experience in rush hour at the subway, and I was packed in like a sardine. I had to push an old man and I felt so bad. I don't recommend that at all. So once I get back from that facial, we go and head off to go see the great If you think I'm here to see Shonu, I wish. We're actually here to go see Leo. That is one of Cricket's favorite idols that she has ever had over the past years. So we decided to go see him for one day and then Shonu for another day. We arrive about 25 minutes before showtime. We go pick up our tickets, and this play venue theater, oh my god, they came up at me. This theater is so pretty. We get the little pamphlet that describes the family tree and the characters' relationships to each other. We get to take portrait pictures. We got some photo cards for all the actors, and then there's this cute little setup to take some more pictures and videos. And then we go upstairs. We got the VIP package thing, which basically just means that your seats are on the stage. The actors interact with everybody all in the crowd, so they go into the actual crowd too. I couldn't film any more past this point, but I just want you to know if you're a Leo stan, he did a great job. After this, we went home and passed out. And now we're on day 5, baby. Day 5 is Pilates day. Your girl obviously went and tried to work out and do Pilates class in Korea. Why would she not go do that? Doing workouts on the internet is my niche, so I just had to give it a try. I had to do something fun and, active while we were there because apparently the walking and the uphill movements weren't enough for me. So I got dressed, went downstairs, waited for the cab again. I went solo to this because Cricket had to go get Theo, the dog. He finally made it out of quarantine, so she's gonna go do that. I go up the stairs, get ready for the class, and it was so cool. There's a dressing room to change in. Here's what the studio looked like. Now at my work, I get to do Pilates for free, so I've done it about a handful of times. Oh, this was next level. I was dying. I had the Pilates shakes. I was doing some triceps, some shoulder work. She checked my posture at the very beginning of the workout. And I knew my posture wasn't the best, but I have some busted posture. So some exercises that really targeted those things. My strength and my muscle tone. She kept asking, she's like, am I making it too hard? And I'm an athlete, so I'm obviously I like a challenge. I don't want to admit something's hard when it is. So I was like, no, I'm fine. Because I'm shaking and giving out exercises. I know I said Pilates was done before, but I've changed my tune. It's one of my favorite workouts to do that's easy on your joints. And it's pretty freaking hard if you make it that way. This was one of the final things we did. I asked her if I could do this specifically because I saw it online. I just wanted to try it. I was really struggling on figuring out where to put my feet towards the end and do that parallel. Yeah, it was so cool. She was super foreigner friendly too. Like, you can do the entire class in English. So if you do want to do a cool workout while you're there, I highly recommend it. This was a 10 out of 10. There was nothing bad with this experience either. All positives here, baby. Just if you want to sweat, you're gonna do it here. Or if you sweat, it's gonna happen. So right across the street, I went over and I got some breakfast. I got an omelet and a bagel. Then I changed, obviously, at the studio, and I went to go see Shanu. 24 hours later from the first play, I go see it again. Here's the fit. I'm by myself again because Cricket has to go get her dog, so she gave her ticket to one of her friends, and we got to know each other, and she was so sweet. I loved her. I can't wait to see her again whenever I go back in a year's time. So here's the photo cards from the day with Shanu. I went and did the portraits with him. I couldn't film any of it, obviously, but oh my god, the kiss. Oh my god, the violin playing. Oh my god, the acting. He did a great job. Loved it. Loved that man. So a thoroughly fun experience. Then after I went back, we went to the K-pop store because honestly, I went and looked for K-pop albums. But Monsta X stuff is sparse there. And they mostly had albums that I already had. And they were not that cheap. Luckily, I found a few albums that I needed at this store, and I got to do some lucky draws for the Seraphim twice and Baby Monster. That's my pulls. Also got some Daiso stuff. Capitalism got me there too. And if you care about this part of the plot, Theo's there. He's alive and he's well. So for dinner, we went and got Cricket's favorite sushi place, and I did my pulls. Love this photo card. Literally was dying. I needed that because I was just a struggle bus. So had my dinner, and then we went to Cricket's it's like a night market area around her apartment. I don't know what it's called, but it was one of my favorite spots. That's also where I got the tangaloo. So I went back and I got 2 more because I needed it. I was called a fat ass while eating them, but worth, I do not care. Then sporadically on our last full night, I was already ready for bed, about to go to sleep. Her friends asked if we wanted to go ride bikes around the river, so obviously we said yes. And I just got to have such like a peaceful, relaxing state of mind while, just exploring the city at night. It was so safe. It's so weird compared to here. It's just like, oh yeah, you just get to go do whatever. So we went to a gas station, got some snacks, and we went to a park to go chill and talk. Knowing me, again, I saw the athletic equipment just sitting there, so I had to try them all out. I think that these are designed for like the older population there, so that they like continue to do movement and some activities while they're there to help them live longer and such. Most of those machines aren't going to do anything for you if you're young. They're all really super easy and not really helpful in my opinion. There was 2 that were hard, but I think they were partially hard because I was already sore and in pain from my Pilates workout that morning. This swinging machine was my favorite though. It was so fun to go back and forth. Felt like I was kind of flying a little bit. At the park too, we also got screamed at by some people who said, "Shut up! We're trying to sleep over here!" It was midnight and we were laughing, but we really weren't being that loud, and they were being very rude for no reason. They could have just asked us to be quiet, but they chose to just scream at us. Oh, one more detail from the walk back from my K-pop shop little trip. We also saw Miss Jenny Kim walking apparently to Lisa's apartment. We told Cricket's friends this stuff, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I think Lisa lives towards that direction that you guys were walking from." We were like, "Huh? Okay, I guess that's something we saw." Oh, I was also struggling on this thing. It's a lot more coordination than I thought. As a little runner myself on the ground, I can't do it in the air. And once we rode back, that was our final activity that we had in Seoul. Overall, I'm super happy with this trip and the timeline. We did a whole lot within 6 days, and we did most, if not all, the things I really wanted to do on this trip. The only thing that really limited us was not being able to go party out at the break of dawn, and I didn't get to try as many foods as I would have liked to, just because we didn't have enough time to eat throughout some of the days, or we had to get some fast takeaways just to, eat towards the end of the day. The flight home was pretty easy too. I really stressed myself out. I didn't do the best, I'm gonna be honest. My flight skills were seriously lacking this trip compared to normal. But I ended up having all my things returned to me safely, aside from my actual carry-on. That thing got to me, but it's busted. All the things in my bag were okay, but I can't use that luggage again, which kind of sucked because I bought it specifically for this trip. If I had to recommend anything, I would definitely recommend going to Ikojaran and doing the Moa Hanbok as an experience on your trip. If you do have friends in Korea or you have your own Korean number, definitely Latvia too. I'll most likely be adding Latvia and Ikojaran back on my roster whenever I go back again next year. I've been wanting to go on this trip forever, so I'm so grateful that I got to go see Cricket again because I haven't seen her in 2 years, and that I actually got to go and check something off my bucket list that I've wanted to do what seems like ages. And that's it. Bye!